The price of Bitcoin is pumping, unfortunately, and for a change, it's $20,889. And it's not the best news, it's not the one that we wanted. I'll explain why right now, because essentially we've got a CME cap that's now open at $20,090, which means that whatever happens from this, we're likely going to leave a gap. Unless the price of Bitcoin crashes back down during the course of the day, which seems unlikely at this point, given it'd have to crash $1,000 from where the price currently sits, because it's essentially up around 5% since the CME gap closed, or opened over the course of the weekend. It's interesting. Now, why is all of this kicking off? We're going to discuss that in today's video. Why is the price of Bitcoin rising? I've got a very clear reason for that. At the same time, I'm going to discuss some altcoins in today's video that I think are worth buying the dip on. And on the main channel, you'll see a very interesting video coming out later today. So please do make sure you've slapped a like on this one in particular. Trying to get 1,000 likes on this video. Excuse the hair. I have been karting earlier today, just sharpening the skills. And yeah, let's crack straight on with today's video, where of course the price of Bitcoin is currently $20,882. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, all we need to do is break through this level of resistance, of which we have done fairly clearly at this point, and we've bounced to the upside. Now, at the same time, don't get carried away right now. This is not Bitcoin getting out of the woods. As you can see, we've broken above this level of liquidity, and in theory, we should rise all the way up now, back to around $22,000. But what is the likelihood of that happening? Well, it all depends on how the Silicon Valley Bank drama plays out tomorrow. Now, on the topic of Silicon Valley Bank drama, UK has scrambled to help tech firms after Silicon Valley Bank collapsed. Basically, the UK arm of Silicon Valley Bank is being bailed out by the UK government. At the same time, in the USA right now, US marshalling material action to stem SVB fallout. Now, again, very interesting is this. It appears the US is going to back all deposits in Silicon Valley Bank. And this is why we're seeing the price of Bitcoin pumping up. This is why that gap is being created right now. Because if there isn't going to be, if all deposits are going to be backed, it means that A, Circle has not lost any money, meaning that the value of USDC has not declined, meaning that this whole drop here is completely invalid. At the same time, if the bank is going to back all deposits, it means that basically the whole world of VC funding and everything like that, it's back on, and we're not going to head into a major financial crash. It's all very interesting what is kicking off right now. Let me just read you the first paragraph of this, which is saying that the US authorities were preparing material action on Sunday to shore up deposits in Silicon Valley Bank and stem any broader financial fallout from its sudden collapse. Sources familiar with the matter told Reuters. As good as this, very good news. It's just a shame that it's happening today rather than tomorrow. This is the markets front running the news as per usual. Now, what should we expect from the price of Bitcoin? Well, if it doesn't crash down for the rest of the day, it does look really good, because if we start zooming out on the price of Bitcoin, going over to something like the 4-hour chart, you would say at this point in time, having broken back into this bullish range right here, again, as you can see, bouncy, 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 break up to the upside. You would expect the price of Bitcoin to go all the way back up to the top of this kind of trading range that we've been stuck in for an incredibly long period of time. And that would be approximately $22,000, as I said earlier in today's video. At the same time as that happening, what is going on with the price of Ethereum? Well, I'm also going to show you my current open trades. Well, Ethereum's going pretty well right now. In fact, let's get straight on my current open trades. I showed you in yesterday's video, I had like 1 Ethereum profit. Right now, I've got 4.9 Ethereum profit worth $7,500. Pretty pleased with that trade, to be honest. I've already taken a little bit of profit out of it, but essentially, in order to get that, I only had to risk $1,100 of ETH using some silly leverage. I have borrowed a lot against it, but at the same time, it seems to work pretty well taking trades like that when you are quite sure about where the bottom is at. At the same time, I am using cross leverage, so although I'm using a lot of leverage, I'm not using a whole lot of leverage because it doesn't show you how much real equity is in that trade. As it sits right now, yes, I've only had to risk $1,100, but actually in that account, there was about $7,000, and I was using a really around 10x leverage, but on the surface, it looks more like I'm using 100x leverage because of the little amount of money that appears to be in the trade because I'm using cross leverage. And being a professional, I like to use cross leverage because it allows me elasticity within my own funds. Now, the price of Ethereum, of course, is currently $1,520. $23, as you can see right here. But what is going on? If we zoom out on the price of Ethereum, going over to the 4-hour chart, it's not really the US dollar value of Ethereum that we need to be watching right now. Although that's pretty interesting and it's been a nice ride to the upside so far, it's the Bitcoin value of Ethereum that I keep talking about. And as I've been saying for a while now, this W reversal pattern is playing out. We've just got to close this hourly candle above this level here, and that should confirm some kind of rally in the altcoin market. And if we're going to see a rally in the altcoin market, it means that a bunch of stuff is going to start pumping. Now, I've taken out a few trades today. Of course, if you all know, I trade XTP. If we go over to the price of XTP, for some reason, again today, some moron was selling it down at these really low prices. I managed to snag about 8 million more XTP down at 24 sats today. I don't know why you're selling it to me that cheap. It's like people don't realize that the US launch is coming fairly soon, and that'll have a major impact on the price. And I'm going to get into that in a full video on the main channel fairly soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But essentially, yes, I bought the dip on XTP. I've actually bought more Dafi today as well. Do I have the Dafi chart loaded up on the screen? Yes, I do. If I bring up the Dafi chart right now, you see that Dafi's price is currently down at around 1.4 cents. It's really down low at this moment in time, but you can see some bigger bids are coming in at this moment in time. It's lots of buying, lots of selling, but still lots of trading activity on the price of Dafi. And as it sits, if the market is going to start rising back to the upside, you'd expect altcoins to rise to the upside. In a case, liquid altcoins like Dafi do rise in price very, very quickly if the market kicks back in on them. And another altcoin that I've been accumulating more and more of at these low prices is CAPS. If you're all familiar with CAPS, CAPS, TERNOA blockchain, really good project. Check it out. I made a whole video about it on my main channel as well. Other altcoins that I'm looking at right now, well, we're going to get into that on the main channel, so make sure you do go over there and subscribe, because the alt market could really be about to take off. It really does depend on what Bitcoin does, but if this holds, it looks pretty decent, even though we'll be leaving a gap down at these levels that no doubt in the future we'll come and revisit. But for now, everything on the market is starting to look up. Everything is starting to look more and more and more healthy, especially given the news that we've seen about the US marshalling material action to stem the SVB fallout. That's been really good news for the crypto markets. Now, another thing that I want to bring up in today's video would be this right here about the Bitcoin bulls. But Bitcoin bulls eyeing CME gaps at $27,300 and $34,400 despite bearish sentiment surrounding SVB. Well, this article, even though it's posted only 1 hour ago, it's technically already out of date. That's how fast the markets move these days. And essentially, those CME gaps at those high levels, I think, are more likely to close now that we've cleared the lowest of low gaps around $19,800. It seems pretty likely to me that we start rallying to the upside. Now, because of what's going on with Silicon Valley Bank, why am I happy about this? Well, if the USA is going to bail out the bank, that means more money printing. That means that they can't increase interest rates again. It means that the Fed, the way that the maths works on it is essentially if the Fed is going to have to print more money, it means that the Fed can't increase interest rates because it goes directly against the other policy that they have to do. So if they are going to bail out SVB customers, they can't raise rates. And if they can't raise rates, it means that we're kind of stuck with inflation the way it is. But at the same time, you will see markets rallying. And I think tomorrow morning on open, the S&P 500 is going to jump like crazy. So I'll try and jump on that trade as well, because it's free money at the end of the day if it does what I think it's going to do. But either way, the entire market's looking pretty decent right now. I'm buying the dip on altcoins. I think that there is so much opportunity in the markets. And of course, if you are interested in trading, click on the trading tutorial that is on the screen right now. Thank you all very much for watching today's video. I hope you've had a profitable weekend like myself, and I hope that next week we get back to business, Bitcoin's price starts going up, and we have an amazing one. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my main channel, which is that Martini guy. Goodbye.